everybody. Welcome to the USRowing graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. We're so happy to have all of you joining us tonight. My name is Emily Regan. I will be your MC and host for the evening. I'm a member of the US national team. I competed at my first World Championships in 2011, winning a gold medal in the women's 4. And since then, I've primarily raced in the women's 8, setting a world best time in 2013, and that still stands today, and winning 3 World Championships and a gold medal in the women's 8 in the 2016 Rio Olympic Games along the way. I'm currently still training and hoping to make my second Olympic team next summer for Tokyo 2020. In my time as an elite athlete, I've come to learn that all of my greatest successes are most meaningful to me because of the hard work and challenges that I have faced along the way to conquer my goals. The class of 2020 has faced so many new challenges this spring alone. You have all found ways to persevere and work through those challenges to find yourself here today. As rowers, we learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I think these two skills of perseverance and finding comfort in the uncomfortable situations will be really valuable skills that you can all take into your future, whether you continue rowing or move on to new adventures in the future. First off, I want to take a quick second to thank Row2K, who is sponsoring your graduation ceremony this evening. They're amazing supporters of the rowing community, so I just wanted to take a quick second to thank them for their support. So now we've created a short video filled with pictures of all of you, set to recognize all of your hard work. All right, that was a great video. So first off, I'm going to introduce our first speaker, and that is Susan Smith. She is the CEO, interim CEO of USRowing, and she's here to give you a few words on behalf of the organization.
Thank you, Emily. Congratulations, class of 2020, and welcome. I'm honored to take a few minutes to address you this evening and to kick off a phenomenal set of speakers. You are a very special group of student athletes united by these once-in-a-lifetime events. Events that you've experienced in these past few months. The pandemic, unimaginable images caught on video, subsequent protests in the streets. Graduation is a big achievement under any circumstances, and you should be proud. But I know that this is not what you had in mind. 2020, by all accounts, has been disappointing. Disappointing that you missed out on your spring season and being around your teammates and friends. Missing out on racing at regionals or youth nationals in the way you had expected or experienced before. Not getting the graduation ceremony in all its splendor that you had hoped for. Then wondering what will happen this fall. Will you be on campus at the university that you had worked so hard to get to? Yes, that's disappointing. But as a parent and someone that's lived a few years, I can tell you with certainty, it is the hard days, it's the tough times that challenge you to your core that will determine who you are. These are those kind of days. Don't dwell on them, but reflect on them. Now think about it. First, think about a race that you won or medaled in, got to stand on that podium with your teammates. It felt great, didn't it? In the moment. Now think back to a race that you didn't win. Think back to that erg piece that you didn't PR. Think back to those disappointments that spurred you on to try harder, get better, be better. They stay with you forever and are reminders of improvements you made and led to bigger and better achievements. So here's the lesson. Go out, make your mistakes, because the disappointments, the failings are what will determine the remarkable person you will become. Last week, I called an old friend. We reminisced about the good old days, but also reflected on the events of the past. And after talking about what we collectively experienced the past couple of weeks, my friend Angela said, yeah, but I am really hopeful about the future. I asked her why, and she said, it's the young people. They have tools and they are not afraid to use them. They will change the world, and you will. I want to end with a poem by Kitty O'Meara, a poem that went viral. You may have seen it or read it, and it may bring you comfort. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still and listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently. And the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed, and it will, and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new dreams and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully as they had been healed. Class of 2020, you are a very special bunch, and I can't wait to see the remarkable lives you will lead. You make me hopeful about the future. Go out and change the world.
Thank you so much, Susan. That was really great. So now it is my great honor to introduce the 2020 student athlete speaker, Jaya Wingard. Jaya has had an incredible rowing career. She began rowing at Springside Chestnut Hill Academy, and she spent the last 3 years at Connecticut Boat Club. Jaya has stood out as a supportive teammate and one of the team's strongest rowers. She was an athlete on the 2019 USRowing high performance team, and this year she earned an invitation to the 2020 U19 National Selection Team Camp. Jaya competed in and earned a spot in the Varsity 8 in 2019 and continued to be a leader in that boat this past fall before COVID-19 cut their season short. Jaya's commitment to personal growth and development in the sport, academics, and life go unmatched. She received offers to join the Harvard, Penn, and Columbia teams for her collegiate career, and Jaya has chosen to continue her rowing career at Columbia University this fall. I'm really excited to introduce her to you, and now here's Jaya for you all.
Hello, USRowing family. My name is Jaya Wingard. I'm graduating from the Calhoun School in New York City, and I'm a member of the Connecticut Boat Club in Norwalk, Connecticut. It is a privilege and honor to address you this evening. I'd first like to recognize you, my fellow graduates of 2020. Congratulations on achieving this milestone. And I would like to thank USRowing for providing me this opportunity to represent our class. I would also like to thank my coaches, Liz Trond, Pierre Absalon, and Steve McGrin, for showing me the way. My teammates and the rest of Connecticut Boat Club for being my home away from home. my teachers, friends, and most of all, my family for giving me unconditional support. I want to speak about a seminal moment in which I'm sure many of you can relate. I'll take you back to a 2K day in spring of sophomore year. A couple of team moms found me sitting on the floor of the erg room next to a gross pile of my vomit. I had just finished my piece and performance anxiety had wreaked havoc. Fast forward to an hour later, and I was sitting in a hospital bed with an IV in my arm while my coxswain aggressively coaxed me to count and breathe to balance my blood pressure. I had freaked out and my body overreacted, all over a stupid erg test. My recollection of the rest of this evening is fuzzy, but one thing I do remember is the doctor asking me, with puzzlement and concern, "Why do you do this?" For the next couple of days, I reflected on her question. What is my why? So why do you do it? Why do you row? What is your why? My answer? I do it for team. I do it for success, and I do it for impact. Team. I row because I get a lot of joy working with my teammates in unison, executing together with precision for optimum speed. Rowing is the best sport for developing future leaders who understand how to collaborate, how to communicate, and how to motivate for peak performance. Success. I row to realize the benefit of my hard work and my preparation, and yes, to cross the finish line first. Rowing objectively recognizes and rewards with the ultimate prize those who work smartest and hardest. Impact. I row to make a difference. Rowing has the potential to increase access to the sport and create more diversity, one student athlete at a time. So, my fellow graduates, I'll ask you again, why do we row? Well, you know my answer. I challenge you to answer for yourselves. But I will leave you with this call to action. Lead people. Translate the skills you've learned in the boat to the classroom, the office, and the boardroom. Be the best. Prepare like we all know how to maximize your results, achievements, and change the world. Pick a cause. Educate, advocate, and champion action. Once again, congratulations, class of 2020. We did it. Now let's really go do it.
Jaya, that was an awesome speech. I'm really so proud of you and all of the class of 2020. I know you guys are going to have great futures ahead of you, and I can't wait to see what all of you do. Next up, I am going to introduce our guest speaker, and he is Clark Dean. Clark Dean began rowing for Sarasota Crew in the summer of 2012, just after 6th grade, so he was nice and young. He had an extremely successful junior career, winning the 2018 Men's 8 at Youth Nationals and winning back-to-back world championships in the men's single for the junior level. He then went on to make a massive jump from the junior level all the way up to the senior world championships, where he stroked the men's 4 to a 5th place finish at the 2019 World Championships and a qualifying position for Tokyo 2020. I know I was really impressed with him, and all of our teammates were as well. That's a really big jump to make. He is also a super successful student and is currently a student at Harvard University. Clark?
Thanks, Emily. Well, that was a better introduction than I could have done for myself, so thanks for that. So first off, congratulations to the class of 2020, especially to everybody here who I guess figured out how to register for the event. It must have been really complicated because only one of my 2 sisters is actually here and has registered for the event. So I guess the other one couldn't figure it out. While it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense for me to give advice to you, in my opinion, considering, I was right where you were 2 years ago, I'm gonna leave you guys with 3 things I wish I knew when I was your age and just leaving high school. I think the first thing I wish I knew was how important it is to savor each moment. And you guys are probably feeling this now, having graduated high school and, you know, getting through that. But it goes by really quick, and it's already been 2 years since I graduated high school. And I remember youth nationals in 2018 like it was yesterday, which was the end of my high school career. And now my graduating class from high school is halfway through college and 2 years from, the majority of them being in the real working world. So whether or not you're super excited to get out of high school and get into college, because I know I was super excited to graduate and go to college. When you get to college, savor the moments, the good and the bad, whether it's a lot of fun or a unpleasant practice or whatever. You're going to miss it. And I think you'll realize that soon with high school, and it's exactly the same in college. Whether it's rowing with the same group of friends from middle school all the way through high school, or living in the same house as your parents, which, I guess I'm now doing that because of COVID and whatnot, but you are going to miss some aspect of high school, and you're absolutely going to miss aspects of college. So I think you need to savor as many moments as you can and try to remember them. So the second thing I was going to talk about is very similar to what Jaya said. So great minds think alike, I guess. But it's another kind of self-reflection thing that I wish I thought about more 2 years ago. And it is why you row. And I think one of the cool things about rowing at the college and high school level is the range of motivating factors just completely, it's 180 degrees from, people who are trying to be the best in the world to the best that they can personally be, to people who are just on the team to stay in shape and make friends. And I think it's important to remember that, to hold yourself accountable to whatever level you are, but also not be afraid to put yourself in a scary, dangerous position. If you're rowing for fun and you're planning on walking on to just a club team in college, sure, have fun with it, but never, you should never be afraid to push yourself to the next level of the sport, even if you fail. So I think the last thing, it's the shortest, but I'd say it's the most important. It's not necessarily COVID related or, coronavirus related, but it's especially apt in the world that we live today, in the post-COVID world. And I think it's to be flexible, to be adaptable. There was a quote, like one of my high school coaches said to me, I think it was at 2018 Worlds, when we were in the 2018 Junior Worlds, when we were in the Czech Republic. It was super hot, super sunny. There was no shade at the regatta. And I was in a boat, which was, the same boat I had been practicing in, but not the actual same shell. And the first 2 or 3 days, it was uncomfortable. The boat wasn't set. I was in the single that year. And I was nervous, right? I was nervous about the boat, the equipment, the whole situation. And when I talked to my coach, he said something that stuck with me. He said, the person who wins isn't going to be, you're not going to win when you have the perfect setup. You're going to win when you make the best of it. So I think now more than ever, that applies to this post-COVID world. The people who win whatever the next championship race is for you, whether it's head of the Charles, if that happens, or, whatever your first college race is, the people who win, they're not going to have adapted perfectly to the COVID world, right? No one knows what that means even. It's going to be whoever is the most flexible and has had the best training given the circumstances since then. So I think that's the most important thing, to be flexible, to listen and learn, and make the best of it, which, everyone here is done with the virtual graduation and everything. So that's all I have. Congratulations to all of you again, and I'll pass it back to Emily.
Thank you, Clark. You had some good advice and good insight for someone who is also young, but you learn a lot every year, and I thought that was great advice for the class of 2020. So now we would like to take the time to recognize all of you that are here with us tonight and the graduating seniors.
So I'll just start it off. Ashna Chakraborty from Pegasus Rowing Club. Abby Somoski from Glastonbury High School, Abe Alligator from Pelham Community Rowing Association, Alana Schlager from Great Miami Crew, Alex Kosarek from Charlotte Youth Rowing Association, Alexandra Gable from Saugatuck Rowing Club, Alexandra Morse from Orlando Area Rowing Society, Alice Duff from Connecticut Boat Club, Amanda Collenberg from Walt Whitman Crew, Anna Klenk from St. Louis Rowing Club, Ann Horton from Riverfront Recapture, Annika Gromick from Potomac Boat Club, Audrey Manning from Mile High Rowing Club, Avery Erickson from Great Miami Crew, Bella Kolender from Charlotte Youth Rowing Association, Brett Boss from Oakneck Rowing Academy, Brianna Morgan from Marin Rowing Association, Brian Flanagan from Mile High Rowing Club, Casey Batson from Saugatuck Rowing Club, Cass Bradley from Sarasota Crew, good club, Cliff Barron, Atomic Rowing, Colin Lindquist from Bainbridge Island Rowing, Dalton Hunter from Mile High Rowing Club, Donovan Miner from St. Andrew Rowing Club, Elise Dean, Sarasota Crew, my sister. I'll also say Nona Dean, even though, you know, she didn't sign up, she isn't here, whatever. Also, congratulations. Elise Hill, Delta Sculling, Girls Rowing Stockton, Ella Scales, Long Beach Junior Crew, Emily Jardin, Olympia Area Rowing, and Ethan Cusack, Lake Las Vegas Rowing Club.
Harrison Mattern, Lake Fallon, Heidi Jacobson, Connecticut Boat Club, Isaac Evans, Asheville Youth Rowing Association, Isaac Medina, Long Beach Junior Crew, Isabella Soto, Row LA, Jackie Newsom, Jaya Wingard, Connecticut Boat Club, Jake Addison, GMS, Jared Ekweilen, Orlando Area Rowing Society, Josh Simon, Advanced Community Rowing Association, Julian Calgary, PCRA, Laura Kemble, Lake Casitas Rowing Association, Madison Dowson, River City Rowing Club, Mallory Holland, Charlotte Youth Rowing Association, Mara Evans, Mile High Rowing Club, Marie Leonard, White Marsh Boat Club, Natalie Wisnowski, South Jersey Rowing Club, Noah Ogburn, Space Coast Crew, Peyton Jacko, Asheville Youth Rowing Association, Robert Grin, Accra, Sam Cochran, Charlotte Youth Rowing Association, Samadhi Disanayaki, Row LA, Sam Garrison, New Trier High School, Sam Thornburg, Asheville Youth Rowing Association, Sierra Hunter, Mile High Rowing Club, Stephanija Racasius, New Trier High School, Stephen McGinnis, Triangle Rowing Club, Tiber Thompson, Oakland Strokes, Turner Mile High Rowing Club, and Victoria Moda, Greater Lawrence Rowing. So Jaya left all of you with some great challenges and Clark with some great advice as well. So I would like to add one last challenge for the class of 2020. When I left high school, I had never rowed before, and I didn't want to. When I went to my orientation in the summer before college, my mom found the rowing team and spent the entire summer trying to convince me to row. I had no interest, and I dug my heels in saying I wouldn't. Eventually I moved in, and my college roommate was the perfect size for a coxswain, so the two of us tried out together. While I was just doing it to appease my mom, it turns out 15 years later that I was pretty good at it, even though it was something I wasn't interested in doing. So I challenge every single one of you to try something new that you don't think you want to do and you never expected to do. You never know, it might turn out to be one of the best life-changing experiences of your life. So this concludes our program for the evening. I want to thank every single one of you so much for joining us this evening, and most especially to the class of 2020. We're so proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Congratulations, and really celebrate and be proud of the success that you guys all have.